as well as Pakistan, equating the two countries. Remember, in this case, it is Pakistan which is the aggressor. However, UN chooses to be not so diplomatic and not so neutral. Instead of sending out a strong warning to Pakistan to end its ceasefire violations and go and follow the treaty, it is UN which has come around and instead told that India and Pakistan, both of them, should diplomatically try and negotiate and end this impasse. Well, that's one of the big stories that we are getting for you. Remember, though the onus has been taken on by the forces to defend India, Prime Minister Modi has been silent. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why the UN is now lecturing India as well as Pakistan. The big question then, of course, is why is the UN interfering in it? This is something that Pakistan has tried all along, to try and internationalize this issue. Remember, it seems that the UN is seeing only one side of the story. It seems to be blind to the fact that 9 Indian civilian lives have been lost. It's blind to the fact that there are so many lives which are being lost every day. There are so many injuries, not just civilian but even those of our soldiers, which is not being accounted for, and the aggression all along has been that from Pakistan. However, Pakistan on its part has been trying for a decade now to internationalize the issue, and after its constant complaints to the UN, finally it seems to have paid off. The UN has now turned around, and instead of giving a rap on Pakistan's knuckles, or as the many demand, to declare Pakistan to be a terror state, to declare their army to be a terrorist army, the UN has instead turned around and looked at one side of the story, saying both India and Pakistan, both of them, ought to be resolving this issue. Well, that is going to be one of our top focus stories. Remember, Pakistan's constant crying to the United Nations seems to have finally paid off. Now you have UN which is shying away from sending out an unequivocal message to Pakistan, as one would have expected it to do. After all, it is the UN and it is supposed to be impartial when it comes to its dealings with its countries. However, if it were really truly impartial and neutral, how come it hasn't really asked Pakistan to back off? Well, that's the question that we are asking. Remember, India all along has been talking about how it is Pakistan which has been repeatedly violating the ceasefire. However, Pakistan on its part has been complaining to the US, saying that UN ought to be mediating this issue because it is India which apparently is the aggressor. Remember, one of the reasons perhaps why UN is today preaching to India and putting it on the same footing as Pakistan is perhaps Prime Minister Modi's silence. Remember, the Indian Prime Minister, despite having addressed many rallies, despite having spoken at several important platforms, he has not come out with any solution, any kind of comment on the kind of aggressions being made by Pakistan. Well, the prolonged silence of Prime Minister Modi, remember, notwithstanding, the Indian armed forces, however, have taken it upon themselves to defend India's citizens who have been relentlessly targeted by Pakistan's cowardly military. Well, the opposition has praised the armed forces for their never say die attitude. However, they have torn into the NDA for its ineffective response.
We are giving answer. In fact, we have been retaliating very heavily. उधर से भी फायरिंग हो रही है, हमारी तरफ से फायरिंग हो रही है और हम ज्यादा तगड़ा जवाब दे रहे हैं, अभी मैं ही कह सकता हूँ।
मामला काफी सीरियस है, संगीन है, ऐसे होना नहीं चाहिए। But the government is taking it seriously. We want a quick resolution of this problem. We want peace and tranquility. We are all concerned, and efforts are being made to bring this to an end. That is what I will tell you as of now. And the armed forces, the security forces, be it the BSF, the army or the other security agencies, we are all concerned the way these things have developed in the recent few days, and we want an early solution to that. And the government as well as the security forces are working towards it.
ये हमने भी 8 बजे का टाइम थे, पाकिस्तान ने फायरिंग चालू कर दी तो हम भाग दौड़ कर इधर, फिर हमारे को इधर बच्चे लेकर भागना पड़ा।
हमारे वहाँ पे फायरिंग शुरू हो गई, तो जैसे ही हमें वहाँ से पता चला कि फायरिंग हो रही है तो हम वहाँ से आ गए।
आज सांबा में, यहाँ बैंगलाड़ में और सदो गांव के और आसपास के 1-2 और गांव से लोग यहाँ एहतियात के तौर पे आ गए हैं शाम को 6, साढ़े 6, 7 बजे के अंदर देखो तो मोटा फायर होने लगा, तो जनता जितनी भी है वो डर के मारे भाग आई।
Third horrible night of firing from the Pakistan side, and people are scared. We'll try to show you the how Pakistan is targeting civilian area. We are in a house and we'll try to show you. Here you can see the mortar shell have landed over here and damaged this rooftop. The 6-inch thick rooftop was collapsed right after it busted, and then the material went inside. We'll try to show you the high intensity of this mortar shell. You can see the marks of the splinters of that mortar shell, which can be seen over here on walls. Even this when that shell have landed over here, and you can see this is the area which came under the range of this mortar shell. You can see this sheet, this fiber sheet was damaged, the marks on the walls. There was a door in this room because this is a bedroom, and the door of this house was totally damaged, and there is no door. And you can see the window mirror which is damaged, and you can see the situation, the condition of the room. Even this fridge which was here in working condition, some of the material splinter hit over here, and we'll try to show you when splinter hits here and then came out from other side. This is the kind of terror, this is the kind of situation the people of Arnia sector are facing. Last night about 10 houses have been damaged, face damage due to Pakistan firing and shelling, and they are very scared. They want to live a peaceful life. That's why they are saying that government need to do something so that once again they will live peacefully in Arnia, because in last so many years, even more than in last many decades, they have never seen this kind of firing in this area. Ajay Jindal, NewsX, Arnia.
Showing laxity, or are we soft on Pakistan?
No, in fact, I believe, and I'm not alone in saying this, is that this time the government has shown the sort of determination and strength which was not there, in fact, in the previous governments. The government has been very clear in its policy that they will reply to Pakistan or Pakistan's firing by not only proportionately but effectively, in such a manner so that Pakistan is given a befitting reply, and that is what is happening.
But sir, on the borders when we see, it is not visible. Pakistan is still very, very aggressive and very, very offensive. If we see, we are seeing them targeting all the civilians, and now we are told by the experts that this is the first time that they have made such inroads or deep penetration into our territory.
Now, if you check up, you will find that our reply all along the border and along the LOC has been more than proportionate. It has been effective, it has been dissuasive. That has been the direction of the government. That is the direction which has gone down to the units, and the units are following this.
Well, with that, let's go across to our defense editor Vishal Thapar, who's joining us. Vishal, instead of reprimanding and condemning Pakistan for its ceasefire violations, why is the UN today lecturing India?
Well, look at it this way. What the UN has done actually goes in India's favor. What Pakistan did was ask the UN to intervene as in a third-party mediation. But the UN Secretary General has very clearly told Pakistan that this is a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan, which ought to be resolved bilaterally through talks between India and Pakistan. So isn't that India's position? So the UN here has actually intervened in India's favor. India should not be very upset about it.
But do you think, Vishal, that perhaps we would have expected UN to come out and condemn? It is a world body, condemn the kind of transgressions being made by Pakistan. Civilian lives have been lost.
The statement by the UN Secretary General makes it very clear that Kashmir is a non-issue in the UN. The Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif tried his utmost to resurrect Kashmir as an issue at the UN General Assembly last month, but you saw there was a very minimal response. Pakistan also tried to organize Muslim countries, the Organization of Islamic Conference, and it had a very poor response. There was only one foreign minister from Turkey who turned up at that meeting on Kashmir, and Saudi Arabia sent a representative lower down, the order, and from just one other country there was a member. So Kashmir, it seems, is a non-issue at the UN, but yes, for optics, for theatre, and for confusing international opinion, Pakistan always tries to rake up the issue again and again and sort of confuse it with the UN.
But Vishal, do stay on with us. There's some breaking news which we want your input on as well. Well, the border management is going to brief the Home Secretary Anil Goswami about the situation in the border areas, this across Indo-Pakistan border. Well, the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval will also be meeting the Home Secretary to discuss recent developments of the Indo-China and the Indo-Pak border. That's the big breaking news that we are getting from you. The border management is going to be briefing the Home Secretary about the situation. Let's go across to Vishal. Vishal, what more details are emerging?
This is obviously a very serious situation, and there's tremendous escalation, not just on the line of control, which is the traditionally vulnerable area, but the Pakistanis, they have extended the zone of conflict even to the international border, which was more or less settled, even though the Pakistanis only call it the working boundary. The BSF is on record saying that the area has seen the most intense firing since the 1971 war, and this firing has been done by the Pakistanis. Now, India is playing for status quo always in Jammu and Kashmir, and it doesn't have any motivation or incentive to cause disruption along the boundary in Jammu and Kashmir. But it is Pakistan which is playing for a change in the boundary, which has a revisionist agenda and which is also pushing in terrorists. Right. So it is Pakistan which has the motivation to cause disruptions on the line of control, and to project it as a military flashpoint. So this is something which is a challenge for Indian diplomacy, as far as clinching international opinion in its favor is concerned. But India is also very clear that this is an issue which has to be resolved bilaterally between India and Pakistan.
But let's not forget, so far the Indian Prime Minister has remained completely mum on this issue. No words